Vidka?
Hey. You're really campaigning for Bitch of the Year, aren't you?
I swear, one of these times you're gonna wake up in a coma.
If we can focus, keep discipline, and not have quite as many mysterious deaths, Sunnydale is gonna rule!
Hey everybody, welcome to episode 63 of GrrArghCast, the only spoiler-free Buffy and Angel recap podcast where we just arrived on a flight from Texas an hour and a half ago and we are not fully aware of where we are or what's going on right now. I'm your host, Brandon Ellison.
Oh, and me, I'm Jewel Rocket Rose. Hi.
As is often the case on Sunday afternoons, Jewel and I have no idea what's going on right now, and we are. Jewel, are you having a day?
I mean,
I had a pretty okay day.
It's been a week, and I don't know why, but some people think that because they're 10 feet away, you can't hear them.
I traveled all this morning. I woke up at 5 o'clock in the morning to get an Uber. I was dealing with some family stuff in San Antonio, and now I'm back in Mexico. Honestly, other than it being like travel, which always sucks, I'm having a pretty good day. This is
good
for anyone who's watching the live video feed. This is Buffy. She says hi. Jewel, before we get started on this week's episodes, tell me what you've been watching, reading, seeing, doing, being this week.
I watched the new episodes of Younger because I had to. I just needed to know what happened in the story. And then, I watched the 3 new episodes of Hunger Games. Handmaid's Tale.
Oh, how is it?
So
I've
dark.
never watched it at all.
Oh my God. It's one of those where it's like, why am I watching it? Because it's so dark and so scary and so awful, but also like, I can't tear my eyes away. I need to know. I just need to know what of Fred, of Joseph, June, whatever. What is this bitch going to do?
Our comment section so far is pretty slow. We only have 1 comment, you guys. I know there's like 15 people watching, so say hello. And also, thank you to our Patreon people who are watching live. Jewel, I watched a movie last night that I loved.
What movie?
It is the Academy Award-winning documentary from this year. My Octopus Teacher is the name of it. And it's about a guy who tracks the same octopus in South Africa for a year, and he observes her for a year and sees her like grow, because octopuses only live for a year. So he tracks her for basically her entire life and watches how she like adapts to being hunted by different predators.
They only live for a year?
A year.
Oh my God.
An ear. 1 ear.
1 ear. You guys might have to start this one over. I can't believe.
And it's really interesting. Like, there's a bit where she's attacked by sharks and one of her arms gets ripped off, and it's this like horrible traumatic experience. And she goes and hides in her little hidey hole. And for 2 months, he actually goes and like brings her food and stuff while she's recovering and regrowing her arm. And it's just like he has this like really tight bond with this octopus who comes up and plays with him and holds him and is very trusting with him. And I think a lot of it is like projecting. I think he's projecting like human thoughts on this octopus, but it is like really sweet, this bond that he feels with it. So I really liked it. It's on Netflix. And you should watch it if you get a chance. Also, The Circle is in their semifinals now. They've done their last elimination.
Understand it. I think it's so stupid. I'm sorry.
I love every second of it. And I watched like 4 episodes of Midsummer Murders because whenever I'm around my family, I have to watch bullshit. So
what does that even mean?
It doesn't matter. Anyone who knows what it is will care, and anyone who doesn't know won't, and we're good.
Whatever.
Jewel,
sup?
This week we watched the Buffy episode Triangle and the Angel episode Redefinition. I'm gonna let you choose which one we talk about first.
Well, I think let's get the bullshit out of the way. Let's talk about Angel.
Okay. So I was surprised you picked that. So the Angel episode Redefinition is sort of a continuation of the last episode where Angel has fired the whole gang, and they've sort of formed their own team a little bit. So let's dig into that. So the episode opens with them holding all their stuff, like their boxes of stuff from the office. They all head home and they agree to leave Angel alone. And Angel has gone batshit insane, right? And he's like a killing machine. He's going out and just murdering demons like crazy.
Well, he has to, because he has to be able to like kill Darla. That was the whole thing. He's like building himself up. He's like, he can't feel, because I don't get why he's so obsessed with her. Like, he needs to get over her.
Yeah.
She's changed. Move on.
Exactly. And then we see the scene of this massacre that happened in the last episode where Darla and Drusilla killed all these lawyers, and there's only 2 survivors, and they are Lindsay and Lila. Now, this episode, we kind of get into something that's going to be a recurring theme in the show, which is this sort of contentious relationship between Lindsay and Lila. How do you feel about it so far?
I don't care.
You didn't like the scene where she was like, steal documents, we'll work together, we can bring this company down, and then he pulled the wire out from her.
No, I was like, listen to you. At first I was like, oh, are you trying to work? Oh, okay. You're like really badly trying to fool him. Okay. You're like,
Yeah.
At least you're not trying to use your body to get what you want, but also no.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, and Lindsay is like very unhappy to find out that Lila survived.
Right, because he seems like a petulant child.
He's a bit of a petulant child, but he's also hot, so that's okay. And
I disagree.
He has that weird mannequin hand now.
I don't like it at all. I don't like him at all. Can you imagine that actor? Like, hey guys, sorry, forgot my fake hand.
Yes.
Got to start over. Take 2.
Virginia's back, and she is the mob daughter that Wesley saved before.
Why is she still here?
She has to be for a little bit. You'll see why. Wesley's explaining what's happening, and then Lindsay and Lila are worried about their jobs at Wolfram and Hart and who's going to be blamed for this. So they go back to Wolfram and Hart.
Only 2 of them left.
Darla and Drusilla are there waiting for them, and they explain that like, you're our connection, like we're going to still work with Wolfram and Hart, because they kind of want to know like what Wolfram and Hart's overall plan is.
Where are Wolfram? Where is Wolfram and where is Hart? Are they actually 2 people?
That question will be answered.
Like, who's in charge now?
They might be 3 people. They might be 3 people, and they might not be people.
Ram and Hart.
Maybe. So we're back at the karaoke bar. I love this scene, by the way. The scene where Cordy, Wesley, and Gunn all run into each other by coincidence at the karaoke bar, and they fight and drink and drink and drink, and then they sing "We Are the Champions," and then they're nauseous. I can't tell you how many times that's happened to me at a karaoke bar, where I've run into someone I hated, and then within 10 seconds we were singing together.
Well, absolutely not, because I don't go to karaoke bars.
Well,
I don't karaoke. I find karaoke to be a really horrifying experience, not just for me, but for the people around me. I get upset with karaoke. I'm like, whose friend let them up there? Like, no, why are you doing this?
I love karaoke, and the worse singers, the better. Like, if you're a bad singer, but you're like super energetic and like about it, I am all about it.
I'm cringing. Okay. I can't. I hate it. I absolutely not.
Fair enough.
Can I tell you how much I hate karaoke? I hate karaoke more than I hate bowling. Okay.
Oh, I love bowling too.
Why? It's so pointless, and your hands never fit in the balls, and also whose fingers have been in there. Bowling is not COVID safe. It's not.
Okay, well, here's my question. What activities are fun for you? Leisure activities with groups of friends?
Drinking. That's fine. I don't drink, but like I will hang out with you as you drink.
I've been drunk with you.
I don't drink anymore. I'm not very good at it. I can have like a cocktail. No, Brandon, I went out to dinner with my parents for their anniversary this week. And I mean, by the way, they've been together 39 years. That's a long fucking time. And I had a cocktail, a single cocktail, a Moscow Mule, and I was having trouble walking back to the car.
Yeah.
I'm a pathetic drinker. It's not fun. I'll be green all day long. I cannot drink.
Yeah. You don't like to do anything while you're drinking? You just like to go to a bar and hang out with people and drink and talk?
Well, okay. So I'm not very good at pool, but I can play. I have the attention span for maybe a full game. maybe. The axe throwing really was not a favorite of mine, but I would do it again. I love paintball. I think that's so fun. Now I have laser
What about
tag.
laser tag?
Okay, but listen, I had a terrible experience laser tagging. Do I save it for the Patreon group, or here? I'm just going to give this one away. This is the kind of stories I'll tell if you join the Patreon. So listen, I went on Birthright, and when you get back from Birthright, whatever city you're in, you can do like events that are sponsored by that organization.
Now, for the non-Jews in our audience, of which there are about 2, Birthright is something where Jewish kids can go on a trip to Israel for free, right?
For free. And there's all different kinds of
funded mostly by Sheldon Adelson.
But he's dead now. So it's Miriam Adelson, Dr. Miriam, who I think she's very cool.
Okay.
I don't know from what I know, which is very little. I think she seems all right. I kind of like her. Him, not so much. Her, I was like, okay, I could get on board with her. Maybe. We'll see. I have to do some more deep dives until I commit to that. But, okay, so I went to the Birthright and we came back and it was great. And we got to do these events and put on these events. And so one of the events was, and you had to relate it back to something about Israel or some shared experience. I don't remember how this worked, but it was too long ago. We went to play laser tag and we decided one of the guys who was in our group had been in the IDF, the Israeli Defense Force. And so we did IDF training before laser tag so that we could like win, and we had like practiced and stuff. And so we learned like drills and things. It was so stupid. And also now that I think about it, kind of dangerous because I'm shocked that no one called the police on us. We were in Sherman Oaks. This is not like, what are we doing? First of all, we're yelling out words in Hebrew. We are in the middle of Sherman Oaks, a predominantly wealthy place, and we're yelling out Hebrew words, doing like fighting gestures. I'm like, oh my God, this could have been a whole moment.
Doing like Krav Maga and shit.
Yeah. And then we went into the laser tag place and it was all like children playing, and we're all grown adults. We're all in our late 20s at this point. And we are going in there like, hey, laser tag with the kids. Well, I didn't even smoke. I was in the car with my friend Lauren while she was having a little, party sneaky peek before, because she was like, oh, this will be so fun, laser tag. Well, I was just sat in the car. I was just like, you know what? No, I feel like this is not going to be good for me. Well, I was right, because I was so high just from sitting in that car next to her while this happened. I don't know what this was. It was like a Snoop Dogg moment. It was insane. But I got lost in the laser tag for the whole time. You play like a 20-minute round, okay? And you start over the rounds. And there are 3 pods, a red pod, a green pod, and a blue pod. I was in the red pod, could not get out. I could not figure out how to find the door to get out. I went in a circle for 20 minutes. And then I looked over at a friend of mine and then said, listen, I can't be in public right now. Like I am spinning out. I got lost in there. I need someone to take me home.
Yeah, I've had that experience with edibles a couple times, including on the teacups at Disneyland.
It wasn't an edible. I was sat in the car. My God. I don't, in my life, still don't know what it was. Dipped in something with the, whatever the fuck it was. I will never in my life be that high ever again. It was too high. It's one of those moments where you're like, I can't be in public right now. I need someone to help me.
Yeah.
Take me home.
Okay. And that is one of the stories that you'll get to hear if you join our $5 a month Patreon, patreon.com/GAC.
Basically all the disaster stories of our lives. Has anyone ever had that where you've just been like, you just got to go home, you're too high?
Yeah. On the teacups at Disneyland, the first time I ever went to Disneyland, and also the first time I ever did edibles.
Really?
Yes.
What happened?
Okay, I'll make it real short because we aren't talking about Buffy or Angel or whatever we're talking about now. My friend Jason and I, Jason Powell, who has a podcast called Lady Watch about women over 50 in the entertainment industry, which you should listen to because it's great.
I'm not over 50, thank you.
It's not for women over 50. It's about women over 50. R.I.P. Olympia Dukakis, by the way. Sad.
Oh.
Anyway, so Jason and I went, and he went to the dispensary and bought some cookies, and we had never done edibles before. So he's like, oh, I bought 2 cookies, and they were like $25 each. And I was like, that's kind of expensive, but okay, here's $25. And so we were at, like there's the lockers in front of Disneyland when you go in. So we put all our stuff in the locker, and I was like, should we eat a little bit now and then a little bit late? Like, should we leave and come back? And he's like, no. He's like, just eat the whole cookie. He's like, I think we're just supposed to eat the whole cookie. So we each ate a whole cookie. Well, it turns out that the whole cookie was 100 milligrams of THC.
It's too many.
And it didn't hit us for like 2.5 hours, but we were on the teacups and we're spinning. And they were filming Regis and Kelly and whoever, or what it was at the time then. This was in like 2013 or something. And we were on the teacups, we were spinning, and we both locked eyes and went like leaned back and locked eyes, and it hit us at the exact same time. So the next thing we did was got on It's a Small World, and we rode that 7 times in a row.
That cannot help you.
And well, it was very pleasant because standing up was not going to happen. And then we went on Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, which was a fucking nightmare. And then we left after we were at Disneyland for like 4 hours. First time I'd ever been to Disneyland, and I could not wait to get out of there.
I'm sorry that happened to you in life.
Yeah. Anyway, let's get back to our Angel episode. So they were at karaoke. So Darla and Drusilla show up at this like demon fight club, and they're trying to recruit demons and vampires for their new gang. And Drusilla detects the angels in the crowd and is like, he's watching us, he's here, he wants to punish us, yada, yada, yada. And Darla gets pissed off and starts throwing shit around and trying to find Angel. Darla gets very annoyed with Drusilla in this episode because
She's
Drew is
so
like
over her.
And Drew is constantly just telling the truth.
No,
like,
but she in the most obnoxious and strange way. Don't rhyme at me. Just tell me what you think.
Yeah, but Drusilla's a crazy person.
I don't care. You suck it
That's
up.
why you
suck
like
it up.
her.
Well, no, I liked her with Miss Edith. Now I'm like, first of all, did this actress have some work done between characters? Her nose.
Shush you. So Angel decides that it's like he's still too attached to Darla to defeat her at this point. We talked about that, the Lila and Lindsay bit with the thing. So Lorne, the green karaoke demon, is like ready to tell them what's going on, but Cordy gets a vision about a dangerous demon and a young woman in trouble. So they go and they make do with what they have, and they save the girl. We see Darla. I have
to tell you, Winslow, what's his name? Wesley. He's not a very good fighter. No, he's pretty awful.
Yeah, he gets better. Darla's frustrated with the focus that others are putting on Angel, and she wants to get to the factory where she told this demon like fight club to meet her. And Darla is like, but there's going to be fire, beautiful flames, and pain. It's going to be amazing. And Darla's like, shut the fuck up, you crazy bitch. So Angel gets to the factory before they do, and he kills every one of the demons that's there to try to join their gang.
Every single one.
Every single one of them. Just wrecks them. Drusilla and Darla show up, and all of their prospective minions are dead, and Angel's in the back smoking a cigarette. And I actually really like this scene because she calls out to him, Angel, and he doesn't respond. And she goes, Angelus, and he doesn't respond. And then he just looks at them and he flicks the cigarette, and the gasoline catches on fire that was on the floor, and he's trying to burn these bitches to death. Shit is crazy. It
was a mess.
Darla grabs a hammer, breaks open a fire hydrant, puts out the flames before her.
Yeah, but by the way, very, very, conveniently placed.
And hammer.
Especially because there's no fire hydrants really around.
Right. Lila and Lindsay find out that they've both been promoted to the job of Executive Vice President of Special Projects. It turns out Angel is that special project. But we don't know that yet. I just spoiled something without realizing it because I watched one episode ahead. Whoopsies. Until one of them could prove that they were the most qualified. Wesley tells Angel that he and the others are going to fight the good fight, even if Angel isn't going to. And Angel says, well, let them fight the good fight. Someone has to fight the war. Before we get to our final thoughts, a little bit trivia for this episode. Angel doesn't speak at all during this episode, only in voiceover.
Did he have laryngitis?
No, I think it was just very dramatic for him not to speak.
Hmm.
This is the first episode in the Buffyverse where we hear Drusilla called Darla by name. And Angel's very ruthless in this episode, which of course we already know. And the international titles, the German title is Neuanfange or Recommencement, whatever. And the French title, sure, Recommencement. And the French title is Déclaration de Guerre or Declaration of War. So, final thoughts, letter rating, Jewel.
Why do we waste our time with this? I mean, Angel was so good last week that I was shocked. Now this week, I mean, we're just back to the same old, really confusing story. So this is the part of Buffy, like this is the same storyline of Buffy when she like dips out. Because that's what these characters tend to do. They tend to like dip in and dip out in their like respective gangs. Like, hi, we're not talking right now. So this is before, I think this is right after she graduated high school and she just like disappears for a hot moment because she had a love problem with Angel and now Angel has one with Darla and now it's just like problems with the love and the.
Oh, you're talking about after Buffy kills Angel and then runs off to LA?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the end of season 2. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like the same story. And now he's like bad Angel again, but not really bad Angel. He's like brooding Angel, but like has to save the world. So he has to kill his girlfriend. And oh my gosh, you don't think he's like relentless badass? You just think he's like brooding again?
I
think we're repeating storylines. I think that is what we're doing.
Okay. So what's your letter rating on this one?
C+. Kept my attention.
Yeah.
Stupid.
So with this episode, there's a couple scenes that I really, really like. I like the stuff in the karaoke bar. I hate the karaoke
bar. I can't even promote karaoke. That's why the score has to be so low.
I like Darla and Drusilla being caught on fire. I like the Lindsay and Lila stuff. And I kind of like this separate group of Wesley, Cordy, and Gunn working together because Angel.
What do you mean the Scooby Gang? The Scooby Gang working together to fight crime because both of them have Scooby Gang. The fuck?
Exactly.
I mean, come on, Joss Whedon. Yeah, I understand like the formulaic thing. I get it, but just make it a little more different.
I believe that I'm going to give. I enjoyed this episode a lot. I watched it in the lobby of the airport while waiting for my flight. I am going to give this episode a B.
You were bored, that's why.
Like Bravo. Joel, before we talk about our
I'm going to chew my ice.
Patreon, which is not showing up on my screen. Oh, but that's okay. We have a Patreon. It's patreon.com/GrrArghCast. Or no, it's not. Patreon.com/GAC podcast. You will, if you join it, it's $5 a month. You'll have exclusive access to our private Facebook group, including extra stories and content and things like that. And you'll be able to interact on every live episode that we do. And it's the only way to watch a live video, usually, except the last 2 weeks, because I've been so far behind on uploading the old episodes that I've just been like, the least I can do is throw people.
For shame, Brandon. For shame.
I've been busy. So yeah, join us, patreon.com/GrrArghCast. I believe the only other person that's agreeing with me in the comments that this episode is good is BJ. BJ, I'm curious what your letter rating is on this one. Okay.
No one cares. I mean, come on, BJ, you did not like this. Don't pretend.
I care. I care
what BJ thinks. I just don't care about this episode.
Fair enough. Jewel, let's talk about Triangle.
Let's.
While Buffy recovers from losing Riley, emotions are charged between Willow and Anya when they are left in charge of the magic shop, and Willow accidentally conjures an enormous troll that will force them to deal with their less than perfect friendship and their feelings towards Xander. So this episode opens. This episode is like a very Anya-centric episode. It might be the first really Anya-centric episode.
I think it's Anya and Willow-centric. Let me tell you something, though. Let's just start right off the bat. Why is Tara even in this episode?
because she has to be.
Why is she even there?
That scene where Anya and Willow are arguing, Tara has to be uncomfortable and leave for the episode to happen because she would keep them responsible.
No, that's not true. That's not true because Xander already left, so they would have been just fine if he had just left too. Like she didn't. She literally, her character was not required in any scene whatsoever.
Well, Xander and Anya are in bed together. They're talking about Buffy's luck or lack thereof with men. They wonder if Buffy might be the problem. Buffy is saving a.
Also, why are you talking about Buffy while you're naked in bed with each other? I'm just saying.
I mean, that's what I talk about when I'm naked in bed.
Nope.
I mean, that's all I ever talk about anyway. Buffy is helping this young nun that's being attacked by a vampire, and then she asks her, "Did you like that scene where she's asking the nun all the questions
She's
about
like, how does this work? Like, could I live here? When do you eat?
How's the food?" Yes.
Buffy.
It felt very 90s Dawson's Creek-y to me.
It did. I really liked it.
I don't know. I thought it was great. Yes. Buffy's training and talking to Giles about Riley. And then he asks about.
He's like, focus. And so she focuses and she really hits him hard.
Yeah. And then he's going to go talk to the Watchers Council and try to get their help with information about Glory. And he tells Buffy that even though he has access to the council, that Glory is. He has to tell the council that Glory is looking for the key. But he is not going to mention Dawn, which is very important to Buffy, that they don't know that Dawn is the key, because the more people that know, the more problems there are.
Right.
Though they seem to talk about it pretty willy-nilly. And Giles is preparing for his trip, and he's going to leave the shop in the hands of Anya, who has 0 people skills. So Willow is offering to help out as well. And they're arguing nonstop.
Well, it's because Willow is taking advantage of the situation. Anya is being overprotective of the situation. They're each trying to assert their dominance over this situation and really over Xander. This is all about Xander, which is so stupid that even when you're a lesbian, it's all about the dude. Stupid.
Yeah, and I do like the when Willow's doing the spell with all the different supplies, and Anya keeps a running tally of how much everything costs.
By the way, I'm so Anya in this situation. I would absolutely be doing the same thing. And if he had come back and said, "What did she take?" I would be like, right here.
I know.
Now, it's not something where I would like 100%. Volunteer the information and be like, "Hey, by the way, she steals." This would be like if he noticed, no, I didn't do it. Receipts.
Right.
Willow
Dawn goes
annoyed
into
me in that
Buffy's
entire
room,
scene.
realizes that.
Oh, you have a delay.
Yeah. Dawn goes into Buffy's room. Oh, I'm so sorry. Are we caught up right now? I can't tell.
Yeah, now we are.
Hello? Okay, sorry guys.
Deep delay.
Minor technical
Deep
difficulties.
delay.
So Dawn goes still?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Like, I'm going to ask you a question, Brandon, and when it responds back to you, it's like way later. Because I can hear your answer now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what to tell you.
Okay.
Are we on the same page?
Yeah.
Okay. Naomi says we're good. So
okay.
So let's just go for it.
I just can't hear you.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, guys. It's a me.
Dawn goes into Buffy's room and notices that all of the pictures of Riley are gone. And they talk about how Buffy is recuperating after he's gone. Dawn is trying to be supportive, and Buffy talks really openly with her. And Dawn is kind of sad that Riley left so suddenly. But Buffy's like, yeah, like everyone saw it happening except for me. And Buffy mentions that Riley might return another day. So Buffy could say all the things she hadn't been able to say before. Finally, we're done with Riley. I don't believe he comes up in conversation for quite some time after this. Thank Christ.
Okay, goodbye, Riley.
We had to wrap that up.
Riley, we hardly knew ye. It's time to go.
Okay, so I'm going to let you talk about the scene where Spike is talking to a mannequin.
Oh my God, I loved it.
So why don't you tell us what happened?
Oh my God, I loved everything about it. So when Spike Spike needs to practice being a nice guy. So he bought a box of chocolates and is like presenting them to fake dummy Buffy and is like, Buffy, I'm so sorry that I was a dick when I did X, Y, and Z, and then starts beating her over the head with it because he cannot control his impulses and his rage. And then he has to take a breath, start over again. And he like gingerly puts the chocolates back in the box, even though it's like been destroyed through the middle. He's like, okay, well that.
And the wig is all a mess. I love the scene so much.
I do too.
I think about it all the time. So he's trying to explain his motivations, and he can't figure it out, so he has to beat the shit out of the mannequin every time. So Anya decides. I'm sorry. So Anya is having issues with Willow using the shop's products for spells, and says that she's stealing. And Anya thinks that Willow is using peer pressure to try to get her to participate in the stealing. Willow and Anya's argument escalates, and Xander and Tara both dip, which is what
they do because they're like, "Whoa,
yeah,
yeah."
And they're trying to do a spell where they make sunlight appear, like simulated sunlight, so that Buffy could take out a bunch of vampires all at once with the sunlight spell.
Yeah.
So they do this spell, but they start arguing, and the spell goes catawampus, and a giant troll appears. Olaf, the troll god. And the troll like breaks everything in the store and then leaves. And of course, Willow says, "You're not a ball of sunshine." What'd you think about Anya driving the car?
I thought it was hysterical. And I have to just point this out as this is happening. My mother is pulling the new car we purchased together because we went in on a car together. Not that we're getting rid of our subsequent cars, but it's a whole thing. She was too afraid to pull it in the driveway the other night, and I just heard her pulling it out, and she's so afraid when she drives this car because it's a Prius with one of those like Tesla touch screens in it. The new Priuses have like touch screens in them. And so she's so freaked out and like really doesn't know what's happening.
Sure.
She's like a cross between Willow and Anya in this moment. I just heard her trying to back this car. Do you know how long it took her to back this car down the driveway? Because I could hear it from start to finish. It took maybe 6 minutes. That's a long ass time.
I love your mom.
Oh my God.
So yeah, she's never driven a car before, but she says she knows how to drive a car, and then her reasoning is, well, how will I know if I can do it if I don't try? Which is exactly perfectly sound reasoning for me. And Willow is looking for a spell to stop the troll, the troll is threatening to burn the crops and make merry sport with the attractive daughters and that sort of thing, and then he goes to the bronze. Xander's at the bronze moping.
And eat babies. He wanted to eat some babies.
He wants to eat some babies. The scene where he says, "Where can I find some delicious babies to eat?" And Spike is like, "I don't know, the hospital?" It's my favorite scene in the whole episode.
Spike is like, I'm not gonna like I would beat him up, but I really don't want to get involved. I just kind of want to see what happens.
Yeah, exactly.
And
also Spike trying to get him to order the bloomin' onion thing.
He's like, the bloomin' onion is great. What? Why is he? And he was like so fascinated with an onion that blooms.
Yeah. So Xander suggests that Spike fights the troll. Yeah, and Spike's exact words are, "I'm paralyzed by not caring very much." Xander tries to talk the troll guy down, and he gets unsatisfied, and he drinks beer directly from a keg, and everybody shows up. I love when Buffy shows up, and Spike is like, "Hello, Buffy," and she's like,
"Hello,"
and she's like,
"What are you doing? Get out of my face!" I'm doing shit.
So hard. Spike is so sweet in this episode.
Well, my favorite is when they start beating people up and he's like, "Buffy, I just want you to know, I didn't take a drink of anyone, even though there's a bunch of like dying and, bleeding people. I'm not tasting any of it, just so you know." And
she's like, "You want me to congratulate you on not like feeding
killing people?
Victims of a massacre?" Yeah, or like a disaster.
Well, yeah. And then I thought to myself, well, yeah, He should
I
get a
agree.
good job, Spike, because he didn't. He'd be like working in a candy factory and don't eat any.
Yep. We find out that the troll guy Olaf used to date Anya,
Oh,
and she's
busted
the
girl.
one that turned him into a troll, and which got her the job of Vengeance Demon because he cheated on her with one wench. Buffy attacks Olaf,
Meant nothing.
and Spike jumps in to back her up, but nobody
Gets knocked out.
and he gets knocked out, and nobody notices that he tried to help at all.
No, they didn't care.
And yeah, Olaf knocks over a pillar on the second floor, and he injures a whole bunch of people. Where was I? Buffy sends Willow and Anya back to the magic shop to find a spell. Willow and Anya are finally getting to the root of their issues, and it's like you said, it's Xander. And Anya,
We could tell from the beginning. That's the whole point of this.
Yeah, Anya makes it clear that she doesn't want to hurt Xander, and that she thinks that Willow is gonna like poison his mind because that's what she does because she sleeps with boyfriends like how she ruined Cordelia, which is an interesting little throwback, if you will. And but they work their things out and they realize that neither of them is going to hurt Xander. Olaf storms into the shop and he wants to hurt the girls, but Xander shows up and the troll beats the shit out of Xander and then makes him choose which one of them is going to die. I apologize for the random Spanish screaming music in the background. It just happens sometimes here.
Viva la Mexico!
Yeah, exactly. Where was I? Okay, yeah. So he's refusing to choose, and then Olaf is like, "Okay, well then, if you're not going to choose, then I'll just kill you." So, and then Anya offers herself up to be killed instead.
Yeah.
Buffy arrives and fights the troll, and Willow does this like spell that like makes the hammer fly away, and the hammer is apparently where all the power is.
I love that, like, oh, the hammer's where the power is, and it's like out of nowhere. Like no one knew that.
Right, exactly.
No one like that line.
I also love when the troll guy is like, these will not last. Their love cannot last, and Buffy gets pissed off and
she's like, "Fuck you!"
That's exactly. So Buffy beats the troll into unconsciousness, and then they send him off into another universe. Which I love. They're like, he'll like it. There's lots of trolls there. It's the troll universe. And then they're like, but it might not be. It could be really any universe. It's not exactly accurate. And then we get the first reference to a world without Shrimp. Actually, the second reference to a world without Shrimp. There will be several more in a few different series, actually. So he finally returns, and Giles is talking to Buffy about the damage to the shop. And then Joyce joins them, and they talk about how the council has no records on Glory, but there's a chance that they might find something based on the information that he gave them. Then they talk about the key, and they're talking very specifically about the key, and Dawn is eavesdropping and hears her name and hears herself mention that she is the key. So Dawn is now made aware that she is not what she thinks she is or what anyone else thinks she is. Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff.
Then the episode ends, and we are left on a cliffhanger.
The episode ends, and we are left on a cliffhanger. I have a little bit of trivia here. Mark Blucas was removed from the opening credits of this. That's Riley. Bye. He's gone. Bye. And our international titles are, the German title is Der Hammer der Zerstörung, which means the hammer of destruction. And everything else is just triangle in other languages.
I prefer the hammer of destruction. The triangle thing was really not what this was about.
No. And it's presenting it like it's a love triangle, but it's not a love triangle at all. Jewel, I need your final thoughts and your letter rating for the Buffy episode Triangle.
You know what? I did not hate this episode. It did not offend me as much as the Angel episode did, even though I love guns still.
Yeah.
I feel like this definitely deserves like a very high B. I think it was a good story. I liked Anya. I think there was some resolution in their character relationships now, and they can all move on. But I don't know. It wasn't a perfect episode for me. It was good enough. It was good. It was good enough. B.
Yeah. So this episode, my friend Lori Beth has a podcast where she gives advice, and she was asked what her top 10 episodes of TV are when she just thinks about TV shows she loves and what the first episode she thinks about in that. And not necessarily her favorite, but what comes to mind when she thinks about a series that she loves. And I did that on my Facebook wall, and my Buffy answer was funny, and I love Anya so much. And
I love Anya, but I don't like Tara. But also, I'm starting to get a little annoyed with Willow at a lot of different turns.
Yeah, me
I feel
too.
like she's just
well, and Willow
lot.
acting like the rules don't apply to her is something that's definitely going to come back into play.
Yeah, because that wasn't her shtick before.
Yeah, it's something very new for her. So I'm going to give this episode an A-. I really love this episode. I think it's great.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So let me see if we have any Buffy birthdays coming up this week. Well, on Tuesday, it's Richard Jenkins' birthday, and he's in Cabin in the Woods, which you have never seen. But happy birthday, Richard
still
Jenkins.
have not seen that movie.
On Wednesday is Vincent Kartheiser's birthday, who you haven't met yet, but he plays a character on Angel named Connor, who is sort of the dawn of Angel.
Who did he dated somebody?
Yes. January Jones, I think.
Someone else.
One of them. I don't... If only there was a way to check it real quick. Oh my God, look at that. He's married to Alexis Bledel.
That's what it is. I was going to say he's married to a Gilmore Girl.
Yep. And that is
he was in Mad Men with them.
That's all for this week for Buffy birthdays. We will be back next Sunday, the 9th, on Mother's Day, to talk about the episodes Checkpoint of Buffy and Blood Money of Angel. 2 episodes I don't remember at all. So
great.
That's what we got.
One.
Thank you guys so much for watching. It's a short episode again this week, but I feel like we knocked out a bunch of stuff. So bye, everybody.
GrrArgh. Girl gang.